telling him, I don't share that information with contractors, but
No, because that's what.
And I kinda looked at it like this,
plus
between
10%.
between the abatement
10%.
figure, the structural repair figure, and the roof figure, and so I had a number for the shoring, the structural repair, and the roof. Actually, I had two of them. I had $375,000 for an insulated roof. He said that's high.
He told you it was high,
It was
remember?
high, okay, so but his 336, plus we have to add the structural steel, may not be a whole hell of a lot lower than his 429.
It's not,
No,
I don't
So
think
it's like, well, convince me this roof is gonna be significantly lower, and between the two numbers, we'll take the risk on what the structural repair is, because there's nobody can tell us what that's gonna be.
I don't think, like, that's what I'm upset about, honestly, is that I feel like that we were gonna take the risk away and the number was gonna go down substantially because we designed it to he's defined what exactly structural members are needed.
right.
So you can go get your material list and write down how many hours you think it is, and you should have a pretty good.
chance, yeah, that's.
Well, it did not bring our quote down as much as I was hoping it would. Plus, we still don't even know what the steel's gonna cost
No.
us, so.
I think the only thing he did is he knocked the steel out, and he knocked away his debris. And then he said, here's your number, 429 less steel, less. I'm guessing, but I'm not sure he put a pencil to the drawings and said, okay, or maybe he did,
I don't know either, but we'll just see. Hopefully the steel's not as much as we think it is. I
Yeah.
don't think that's the case.
Well,
because-
maybe it's gonna be closer to 40,000 if he said it was safe, but we'll see.
And then the good thing is hopefully we'll be able to sell the steel and make a little bit of a profit on it.
Well,
But
that's a good point. Well, so that's also, you could also consider, you could maybe plug a revenue number for that. You know, but this is all revenue and expense, so, yeah, a lot to talk to him about. It'd be nice, be nice to start having those conversations with him to get his numbers. The fact that he doesn't have them, I saw his response to you and I was thrilled with it.
me too,
But
yeah.
I'm just wondering if he's overextended.
He's really busy right now, but maybe he just took on a lot to make up the gap in his work because we did this delayed design. I don't know. I'm thinking that's probably what happened. He's gotta make a living. So he probably had to fill in, you know, he bid on our project and then we went, can't do it. Will you do hourly? And so I think he took on more work right
Yeah.
now. But we'll see. As soon as I get it, it'll be in y'all's inbox. The vacant lots, so we have the fully executed buy sale, that's with the contingency that you asked for, Mike, and then, she said, the realtor said she sent you 2 more DocuSigns,
I
one,
signed one for mold,
you did sign the one for
I
both.
didn't get another one.
There's another one for OPD, I don't even know what that stands
Okay.
for, cause never bought a house.
It's from Holly, right, or whatever?
Yes, so there should be 2, and I think she got the OPD, but I don't think she got the mold, so maybe she's just waiting on it from the seller.
I am missing one of them.
But you were able to talk to, did you talk to the attorney, or what did we have to say about mold then?
Well, I sent it to Ben, he didn't comment.
Oh, okay,
So, yeah, I took a chance, but we're not gonna buy, we know there's mold there, and Allsat, as far as I'm concerned, Allsat was a disclosure that they had
Okay.
mold.
okay.
You know,
Because
they
of
need to
the,
disclose
because
that
of the
stuff.
basements, right.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're waiting on, maybe we're just waiting on the banisters to sign that, and then that's the last piece.
well, I've got one that I didn't sign, and let's see what it has to do with. Well, no, it's a signing process previously accepted, so I don't see that I'm out, you might check with her and see what she's missing.
So you did the mold one?
Yeah, I
though?
did, yep, and
Okay.
I sent it to everybody, I copied you, I think.
Okay, so Bob did this one, but how about the OPD?
I don't think I got that, I don't think I got an invite to sign that.
She's having trouble with her system because we'd be on the phone and she'd be like, I sent you the copy right now, and so I had to end up sending her an email and she had to reply back to it and send me a PDF because her system's just not working right. So you didn't get anything about OPD?
No, in fact, I'm gonna recheck it, but it's from Holly, right?
Right,
Usually what it does is it gives me a link.
I'll just let
Holly
her know.
Winker one. Signature. Okay, let me, maybe I didn't do it here. Signing process complete. Signing process, so 2 emails, I've got signing process complete. 3rd email. Okay, I'm gonna sign it right now, this is a signing invitation.
Okay,
Nope, signing process complete. So I'm not sure what's going on. I don't-
okay, I'll text her and just say, you signed the mold one, and be sure that if there's something else, I'll have her resend it.
Okay,
Maybe they were together.
and it might have been, but I interpreted what I signed, it was a bunch of language, but what I interpreted is this is just a standard disclosure that they've got mold in the building.
Okay, all right, and then, do y'all know when the earnest money went out, the check,
Yeah, well, we signed a claim on it just last week.
last week?
It'll probably go out today. Last week or this Wednesday?
I think it was last week, but
Well, let me see.
no, I wonder.
I'll just check real quick.
Yeah, maybe it was yesterday, or this Wednesday. I don't find out.
Well, I
I think
don't
it
think
was
I
just this
sent it
last
to y'all
Friday.
till Friday,
Huh?
right? Y'all signed it last Friday, so you probably
Yeah,
didn't
probably
do the
was in-
check till this Wednesday.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Does that sound right?
It was just 2 days ago.
Right, it went out Wednesday.
Okay.
That is my weeks.
Wednesday's mail. Okay, I'll tell her. Okay,
So when are we supposed to close on that?
So we don't-
The
the
30th or something?
contingency is, so the, what is Labor Day? I mean Memorial Day, it's like the 26th.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is,
Yeah, but I
Monday?
think this says the closing is May 30th.
Right, but we don't have to decide whether we're gonna move forward with the purchase till
Oh,
the
until May
till that
26th.
Tuesday, the day
Yeah.
after Memorial Day. And then,
26th, yeah.
so we tell them by the 26th, yay or nay.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we say yes, then we close, on the 30th.
Okay. That'll be here before we know it.
I know, I
Yeah,
can't
I
believe
know.
it's already May.
Yeah, I'm sure will.
Okay, sorry, let me send her this.
So we better start having those bake sales.
Okay, the dehumidifiers will be running, so are you guys okay with me pulling them Monday morning?
Well, you have to. I don't, and again, let me just reiterate why, from my perspective. We don't wanna delay the abatement team. And we're not gonna gain structurally any significant design savings from it being any drier because it was moist and not saturated.
Well, and that Jim did not hear that, because Jim was still thinking maybe we'd get some benefit out of retesting the soil.
Well, see,
but he never asked that
I
question.
jumped to the conclusion it was saturated because I thought it was sloppy muddy and said, well, it's gotta be saturated if it's sloppy muddy. But I'm wrong. If it says it's just moist and not saturated, it's like, well, he just told
He
us
just
you're not
did
gonna
that.
gain a
He
whole
just
hell of a
said that.
lot out of it, so it's
He
not
just said
worth delaying anything for that reason, I guess.
Right,
Check the humidity in there Monday.
And the other thing too is, let's say that you get in there and we get the guys' abatement team going and we say, you know what? It would benefit for us to bring those back and make it even drier down there. Not for structural reasons, but for other reasons, it's something we might consider.
but, oh, that's the other thing that Jim said. The part about the wood that Jim said was dry wood is stronger than wet wood.
Right.
So when we go to level the building,
Now I understand.
you want the wood dry.
Yes, you-
Because it starts talking to you and you wanna be able to listen. And if it's wet, it won't talk as much.
And then he'll have to beef his design up considering that it's wet.
Well, he said they'll do different things.
Yeah.
You know, they'll move this or put extra shoring there, or, you know, when things start creaking, when you're doing things, people that raise buildings know what it means.
Okay, so that
So-
might say we do
It-
wanna bring them back
Right.
if we need it.
We might. We'll see how dry it
It's
is.
just that they're not necessarily cheap either, but I see the value in them.
Well, we'll see how effective they are and how much it costs us. This will be a good trial, and maybe I'm looking forward to seeing what the humidity levels are by Monday, because one guy that I talked to who seemed like he knew a lot, he was like, you just never know if it's just soil. You can make a big difference if it's ground moisture quickly with those desiccant. I just don't have any experience with them. But then when the hazmat guys get in there, they're gonna be running these big air filters with HEPA filters on them. And Roger said that will have a huge drying, effect. So it'll not only filter the air, it'll.
Yeah, all these air changes are gonna dry things up.
Right.
Okay,
And it's gonna get warmer. It's gonna get warmer.
It's gonna be supposed to be 80.
And we're gonna have a nice gutter on the building finally.
There you go. I was gonna say that thing's probably been wet and dried out over the last 30 years, how many times?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I know when I went in there the first time, that was just dust down there.
Really?
It was dry.
That's true. Yeah.
And of course, we got moisture since then, but how long does it take for it to dry out naturally?
Mhm.
I don't think it's that long.
Probably not if it's hot out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got mechanical, but we couldn't do the air change thing because they said we would be disturbing friable asbestos, so they'll get that done and then they'll be
Yeah.
in negative air, it'll all be good, that's what the HEPA
It'll all be
filters are.
good.
It will all be, actually, that's gonna have a huge drying effect.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what Roger said, that's what Brian said, and he said, but I know Roger's really gonna appreciate if they go in there and they don't have to set up on sloppy bentonite mud that is
Yes.
on that soil, on that floor right now. Okay, so the electric was hooked up on the 1st, the water was hooked up on the 24th. I thought Joe did a really good job. When you guys, next time you go in that building, if you wanna look at his plumbing work, I thought he did a
Well,
really
and
good job.
I like this price, to be honest with you, I was really afraid.
I just hung up on these people trying to transfer them to you. They called earlier too. I don't know who it is.
Should we do a conference with them? Well, we'll let you finish.
I got one more thing. The Department of Transportation, after I talked to him, the manager, he agreed with our sort of conclusion that we should just get a permit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work with John or whoever we end up doing the construction work with and just get a permit for fencing off part of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
And then we're permitted to do whatever we need. If we move it closer to the building, then we're good. And that's it.
That's it,
That's
There's a
it.
lot going on.
Ba-doom.
for now.
For now. Yeah, but I'm excited to have Brian in there. He was there on site Wednesday, just ready, getting everything ready. The electric bill is gonna be a little, so they quoted us $1,400 for the base unit, plus our breakers and,
Yeah.
whatever the other thing was,
Called pigtails or something, what is it?
breakers and something else, but then
Maybe outlets.
outlets, yeah, it was breakers and outlets, depending on what they needed. So then he finally found out what they needed, everybody got back to him. And then, when Brian came, thank goodness, because only an electrician can hook up those pigtails,
Mm-hmm.
he just called our electrician, and then the guy called me, Tom Brunner, and said, hey, do I have permission to do this? It'll maybe cost an hour of work. And so I gave him permission, so that's why it was a little more detailed, so I think it was $1,824.
Okay.
But he was like there in a minute. I was really happy with what he did.
Well, the other thing too is that is not wasted money. That's money that the contractors don't have to put in their bid now. So,
Well, and it saved us the money,
Yeah, it
because if
saved
they
us
had
time.
to do all this, they probably would have charged us $20,000.
Oh, yeah.
this is Jim Schulke, I gotta.
I gotta go, guys. All right.
Go to the museum.
Hey, Norma.
Bye.
Yep.
Yeah, so it was a cost savings in the long run, but I really like this guy. Then the next day, when these guys came, he told me that he was gonna need, 40 amp plugs, breakers with 4 plugs. And I was like, well, we don't have that. We have 4 110s because I didn't know this guy was, we were gonna do the dehumidification. And so I took pictures of what he had done and I called Tom, and Tom said, Teresa, if you just get me your breakers, I won't even charge you my time.
Really?
Yeah. So he's gonna come and install these before he goes to win it to do his other work. And just out of the kindness in his heart, he was
Well,
just
it
like,
don't take long to slap a breaker in.
well, and he said it'll be
Still.
less than an hour, so he said, I won't even bill you, but if you'll go get the breaker.
Depends if he shuts the electricity off or not.
I would have made him if I was there.
Well, unfortunately, you don't shut it off. It's over in a second.
Okay, I'm gonna make a copy of this for you.
Oh, yeah, I like that, to tell you the truth.
I do too.
I should have shut off what we have. What district meeting are we? Maple district meeting, do you remember? 3?
I think, I saw the list and we'll have to go down to Forsyth.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah,
I can't remember what district they
I'd
are.
have to look at it. It seems
Well,
like we're 2 or 3.
That's 1, 2, 3, 6, and 7, and I assume that's us because it's in Forsyth,
Yeah.
which is close to us, so. It
Yes,
certainly wouldn't be Helen or Missoula, so.
They had some important things there to look at.
Are you happy with that?
I like it. I like it. I think it's a great idea, and I think we'll check with our floodplain administrator. I think we can put it down there and put a plaque on there saying the port side of the busy bee. It should make Mark happy, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. Or, I
And
mean,
it's right there along the highways they come in.
and they could make it as high, you
Yeah,
could
whatever.
make as high as you wanted. It could be at the top of a mound or something,
Yeah.
and then you could mark the water level, or, we could
Yeah,
do
the
something
problem.
to make it.
We can make it above the floodplain easy enough if that. But I don't think it'll be a problem because that's a backwater. That's not a channel. It's just backs into there. It's not like it's gonna impede the flow.
Right. And it's floodable, it's not like it's gonna go anywhere. It's-
No.
Well, I don't know. That was,
But if we make that into parks, then we'll have a driveway around there, a parking area, and then artificial turf.
the city would go for
So,
that.
cause it floats.
Yeah. They would love that, then you don't have to cut it.
Well, yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, I didn't, thought we could put it somewhere else, but I'm starting to think Busy Bee site's just the place it should be.
Mm-hmm. Let it be a green space, yeah.
He just said that, no, those soil samples were saturated. I'm just kidding. That's a little,
Wait, I was there!
that's a little geotechnical humor.
You're so funny.
No, we're all good.
Okay.
He said he actually had a similar conversation with Rimrock.
Okay,
So,
so he doesn't think there's.
he doesn't think we're gonna gain anything, but he
Okay,
likes
so-
the idea that we're gonna get this wood dried out just through the abatement process with all the
Sure.
changes.
Okay, well, good. Good.
Good work.
Thank you,
Everybody's
guys.
doing, we're in good shape.
Awesome. Do you want more, do you want more than one copy of the horse?
No, no.
Well,
We'll
Yeah,
pass.
actually,
We
if you
need
could
one, we'll make another one.
Well,
Well, we could make it from the original, it'd probably be better.
I thought we were gonna PDF it.
Oh, I will. I'll email it to
Because
you.
maybe you should be the keeper of the official copy.
Okay, I'll keep the official copy.
That's just me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's great.
And do you want that? Cause I have a copy of that.
Okay, we can have that, yeah.
And I'll email both of them. You want it on the back of that?
God, we're already in public comment.
Yeah.
What the hell? This is-
Okay, there you go. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you for your patience with me going through all that, but I'm really confident now. I really like what we're doing. So,
Good.
Excellent.
Thank you. I appreciate all that.
Oh, geez, I'm gonna.
Yeah, you did, huh?
I'll send you my note.
So I added up everything so far, and it's $129 that,
To do that,
to do that.
Good for you.
that's not bad.
Now I just have to figure out how to
word it, to put it,
Or just, can you have somebody help you put it in a spreadsheet and just say see attached and it comes to it?
I could have somebody probably help me. 'Cause I
Or
don't
you might be able to just,
tell her this is how
there's
much.
so many hours. and
That's what I'd do.
And if she wants it broken down, we can break it down. I mean, Charlie even went in and did my, everything.
It'll be what it actually cost you, but you're gonna work up till that number, and if you
Yep.
don't get it done. No, I think that's good. Every day we learn a little more, don't we?
Yeah, yeah.
You too. No.
All right.
Oh, guys, will you hold on one second? You can go ahead and go.
All right, is there any public comment on any public matter within this jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda? Is there any public comment on any public matter within the jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda? I'm going 3 times, and I don't see that anybody else is joined here. Is there any public comment on any public matter within this jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda? Hearing none, public comment is closed. Unless you got public comment?
No, but she has something.
I do have something else.
Okay.
Go ahead, Charlie.
Okay, so when we originally, when you guys sat down and did the budget, our phone, we weren't on the new phone system yet.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay.
And so what's changed with our Mid-Riversville is, I'd like to show you guys. Everything is done, okay, this is like the copies of the bills. So, as you can see, we have 11 local services, so everything in this courthouse, this is us, this is DES, this is Justice Court, this is District Court, Treasurer's Office, everybody in this building except for Department of Revenue, they are on their own. And Senior Center, everything, this is all, these are all 11 lines. So
Okay.
you had it where each department had their own. So I guess what we were asking for is because they have taken out all of the lines and given us just one line, building line,
Yeah, one bill.
and one bill. So I guess what we were hoping for is that you could change the appropriations and allow us to pay that under, you know,
The other, yeah.
Okay,
Just
so
one
let's-
thing.
So basically, you would just bill that to the general conditions under one funding
Correct.
code, one account,
And they bill the departments.
and we would not bill the
No,
departments,
they
but we
wouldn't
would just reduce their
appropriate either.
appropriations, so they,
Okay.
yeah, I think we can deal with that.
okay. That would be helpful,
But
because
don't
what I
let us
learned
forget
was
it.
this.
I'm gonna put it on the board.
What I
So
learned-
now there'll be a, everybody's budget has a line for phones, and
That'll
we
be
can say,
gone.
you know what? Phones are all covered under this.
Except
Except the
for,
cell phones.
I'll get you a list, because there's an exception, like Melstone, or I'm sorry, Muscle Shell. This is what came to my mind, so I got the Muscle Shell bill, and
The muscle
this-
cell shop.
Yes, it was under Muscle Shell Shop, and it was one line. And what had happened was Denise went into the Wayback Machine. When I say Wayback Machine, back to 2022, when they gave us one of these,
Right.
and it was all broke up. You know, who paid what? But then the new bills come out, right? And it has Muscle Shell Shop and Emergency Services and the fire department. So I called and was able to get them, you know, give me one bill for the emergency services, give me one bill for fire, and give me one bill for Muscle Shell Shop. So then I came to ours and I said I need the same thing here at the courthouse. But because of the phone systems, they don't have these phone systems there, so it was easy for them to do that. These phone systems lost our extensions and our ability to
Yeah, we
figure
don't
out
have
who's going to what.
I'm with you, yeah.
So that's where, you know, I fixed it for the departments I could, but.
No, that's perfect, and
Yeah,
actually, it's just, don't budget for it, guys, and so.
Yeah,
We're getting paid, by you not budgeting for that, it's being paid for here, and we kinda did the same thing with our insurance.
Yeah.
You know, we like to have $250-some thousand a year insurance for liability and property insurance. It used to be split up by department, and there's not a lot of advantage in that, just, you know, we just, now it's one thing.
Right.
And we just don't budget for their insurance in the budgets.
right. Well, that's kind of what I thought, maybe they could lose it out of their budget, because we're showing over, in Fund 100, account 580, object 345, we are definitely in the negative on that. So I was like, but it's fine, because we're, you know, we're not for the full
Overall, yeah.
overall, I don't know what it would look like. What I could try to do is go, back to the prior bills and find out about how much, if I can average before the phone systems from 2020, I guess it would be the beginning of first half of 2024, to
Yeah.
see how much, each department would lose to go into this fund.
You don't even do that,
Okay,
because the way we would deal with it is when we do their budget, we would budget 0 for phones.
okay, but what about for this year that we're in? Or do I need to not worry about it?
No, yes.
That's what I was gonna do,
You're
try
gonna
to
give
give
us
you
a
a
budget
number.
number as a total number.
Yeah.
A total number, yes, I'll give you a budget number as a total number, but are you concerned about, cause now it's all coming out of that 1,000, 410, 580, 345. Do you want me to figure out how much, was allocated for each department for the phone system for this year, fiscal year ending on July? So that
But
you can
not my,
take-
what I'm saying is the number that we're gonna use for the general conditions under that code,
Mm-hmm,
it's gonna be one number.
okay,
You don't need to break it down.
correct.
And-
For
and-
next year, right?
For next year,
But-
for next year.
Do you need to figure it out for this year so you could take some out of their budget, or are we just gonna let them?
Well, we'll just zero
Let's
their
look at the,
budget.
yeah, and
We'll
just,
zero their budget, but we need to know what total we need to
What they're-
budget for.
Yeah,
And
and
so
you know
that
what, it's gonna pretty
exercise
much
would be
always be
the
the same, this 1671,
Times
so I'll,
12 or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Okay, beautiful. See, that saves you having to break it down. We'll just say, don't budget for phones, we've got them covered
Yeah.
under this other
Yeah.
funding term.
Yep.
Excellent, thank you.
hey, water man.
What's new?
He's the water witcher.
There's water in Roundup,
Yeah, I seen it run down the street the other day.
yeah. I think they're probably about halfway through flushing. Fire hydrant.
Are they doing it like from there down, or
Yeah.
are they?
They
Yes.
take each avenue, go east and west, then they move to the next avenue.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're down on 8th Avenue now, I think. There's 16 avenues, so.
It's gonna take a little while.
Well, it took them all week to get down to this far, so. And
Well, that's
some
a
of my-
major thing now. It's here. You know how I know water's here? We got our first bill at Fairgrounds.
Yeah,
That's how we know.
the,
We fell out of our chair, by the way.
So how do you know when to shut the hydrant off? You
when
just
it gets
time
clear.
I thought maybe you tasted it.
No. In fact, last night I put some in a bottle and I couldn't hardly drink it, it was so full of chlorine. So they've, I imagine he super chlorinated it here
Well, of course, to clean the pipes out.
as they're doing this
Yeah.
cleaning, and that's what did up there in Harlow too, and so it took a few days after everything was set up to get rid of that, because that's not the normal residual we'll have.
No.
You
Yeah, I
shouldn't
heard
be able
that
to hardly
Harlow
taste it or
chlorine
smell it.
was-
do you know, I mean, are people seeing like a dirty water when they're flushing them or anything? Cause I haven't seen it.
Not really,
Okay,
but I'm not on, they did mine yesterday afternoon, the one was on the corner right below me. Nothing changed, but it was clear water in a minute.
Yeah.
The hydrant there by, north of the IGA, they're there damn near an hour before it cleared up. And some of the edges of town are like that. So it's, there's a real variety around. But there's about 100 hydrants, so it takes quite a long time to get through all of them. We're going towards Millstone like
Man,
full bore.
yeah.
They are about done, I think they finished out on Big Wall Road and they're moving back this way now, so we
Yeah.
can get Colony hooked in. But in the meantime, they're also headed to Millstone. And then we probably will go to bid to Broadview in June.
Probably.
How's it going with the